Hello and welcome to another DF Retro Let's Play. Sonic 2006, it wasn't enough. We had to go back to the well, and this time we're playing another bad Sonic game. No jokes about bad Sonic games, most of them are good, I maintain, but this one is not. This is Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric for the Wii U. It's a train wreck. I'm joined by Marc Triforce Duddleson again here to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people told me that the Sonic 06 video we did was one of the funniest things they'd ever seen on the internet. And
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. People were telling me it was really funny. I don't know if we're going to recapture that same lightning in a bottle here. I mean, I don't
Probably
know
not.
a lot about this game. And luckily, it is only on one platform, so I don't have to play today. It's just you.
That's right, and we're going to start from the beginning here because this is a fresh Wii U that I have homebrewed, if you will, for other reasons. We're going to get into it right now, so let's hit that start button. I am going to just start a fresh save here, and here we go. Let's get into Sonic Boom. Oh yeah, the 3DS Connect story mode. You're not even ready for this? So this
I mean,
intro,
I don't know that. I mean, the title screen and the menu.
I know.
I mean, it looks fine. It looked fine.
Yeah, it did. Now, first of all, what we're about to see here, this introduction movie, it's actually a video clip for one. So this is fully pre-rendered. And we're going to have to show a couple of these in like slow motion, I think, to really appreciate what's going on once it loads, because there's some craziness here. You ready? Here we go.
All right.
So,
all right.
now I want you to look carefully. It's hard to spot, but every time the camera cuts, your brain should pick up something weird. Like you'll start to see it more when it moves more, but there's something wrong, right? Like temporally, you'll be like, wait a minute, there's a glitch.
Yeah, I saw something at least once already. I mean, I'm just watching over Discord here, so.
Oh yeah, it's hard to see. You're probably okay. This is where it gets real bad. Like every time it cuts, there's something weird, right?
Yes.
So now, if you actually pause on one of these frames here, as it cuts the camera, take a look at what happens to the characters. You'll see that basically it's like every frame, it's like resetting their posing before they get into the correct like animation or something. And obviously, you know, with temporal anti-aliasing and other things, a lot of games have issues with frame cuts today. But, oh man, here we go. So it starts like this. Wow, I've not played this for so long. So it starts with this sort of like cinematic run.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've used my Wii U gamepad in a while. This one specifically, and the analog stick is gross. These things get that was really jarring.
That was rough.
Yeah, now it switches back to a video.
I don't know how I feel about this like super like buff looking Eggman.
Well, it's all part of the Sonic Boom universe, which we'll talk about shortly, because the Sonic Boom TV show, not bad.
Yeah.
But Sonic Boom the game, very bad. All right, so yeah, this whole intro is meant to be like this cinematic thing, but it's very jarring. Look at the frame rate here.
What is the frame rate target? Am I getting the full fat experience with
it's
like
meant to be it's meant to be 30 max.
Okay, because
dropped 15.
That looks rough around that loop.
That went to 15.
Yeah.
I'm capturing this with the frame rate tool, so hopefully people will see what we're getting here.
Okay.
When all is said and done.
What do you know off the top of your head what the resolution is?
Yeah, I think it's 720p.
Yeah, so
basically
720p. I'm getting the full fat experience in both frame rate and resolution over here on Discord. Not losing
You are
much.
indeed. So obviously this intro is really intense and fast paced, but once we slow down, we're going to go into some more details about like what the heck happened with this game and why it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so far, like, it's just this scripted cinematic sequence, which not a bad idea, but with all like the weird abrupt cuts, it doesn't feel polished at all, right?
No.
And all these cutscenes are just video clips, so they're never real time.
So they have that issue, even though it's a rendered and edited clip, which is madness.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you get that sometimes with real time cutscenes, switching cameras when like physics reset and other things like that.
It's understandable.
And that would probably happen here too, but like they could edit it. Why did they not edit the frame cuts? I do that all the time with my videos, right? Like,
I mean, maybe they edited like.
Okay, here we go.
Edited in engine or something.
I don't know what they did. So first of all, this is a Sonic game with like melee combat.
Yeah, I was gonna say like this is like Batman Arkham style combat or something.
It's, I guess you could almost say it's like Werehog, but like as normal Sonic. But it does not feel great, especially like I find like just games in general. The Wii U gamepad, which I am using here, by the way, it feels so big in your hands that it feels wrong to me. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't know.
I don't mind the gamepad personally, but I mean for this game, it's. I am not I mean, to be clear, I'm not a big Sonic fan particularly.
That's okay.
But I am not.
We're not all perfect.
I am not opposed to the idea of this kind of combat in Sonic necessarily. It's just a matter of whether it's done well, I guess.
Okay, so now we're kind of platforming along here.
I mean, I noticed we've got like a lot of physics on like Sonic's spikes, like his run cycle, his run cycle and that animation. Like it's different. It's different from what you normally see in like the Japanese developed Sonic games. But
yeah, sure. I think what they were making here could have been decent, and maybe we should get into a little bit of that as I'm trying to play the game right now. But so this is a game developed by a company called Big Red Button, and it was co-developed by Ilphonic, with some involvement, I guess, from Sega of Japan, maybe Sonic Team, but I don't think they contributed much to this. So that was actually founded by a guy that had worked on pretty much all the big Naughty Dog games, going back from Crash, all the Crash games, all the Jak and Daxter games, and Uncharted 1. It's like Bob Raffay, I think his name was. I can't quite remember. But so this studio actually has like a decent amount of talent behind it. I mean, there's even guys that worked at like Luxoflux on the Vigilante 8 games involved. So it's a wide range of employees. This is their first project, and they kind of pitched it as something called Sonic Origins, if I recall, originally, which that actually did happen, right? But it's not this.
Yes.
And it was meant to be sort of a Jak and Daxter-ish platform game with 4-player co-op and all that kind of stuff, and that didn't fully happen. And then they did some kind of a vertical slice at some point for it, and the game was originally actually planned for Xbox, PlayStation platforms, PC, and given the time of release, it probably would have been like PS4 and Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, the very first trailer they showed of this game, maybe you should actually put it on screen right now.
Sure.
If you look at this trailer here, the game looks a lot better, I think, than what we actually got. There's motion blur. The frame rate looks smoother. Like everything just looks better. And I think this was obviously captured on PC because this game runs on CryEngine. And as we know, although they did some work for it, CryEngine wasn't exactly well suited to the Wii U, and in fact it wasn't really well suited to PS3 or Xbox 360 for that matter.
Yeah,
you know, like the Crysis games didn't run well on those platforms. No. So the idea of using CryEngine to power a platform game already seemed insane to me. But then this thing happened where Nintendo, you know, they had a deal, right? Like some kind of, what was it, 3-game deal?
I think that's right.
Where Sega would put 3 Sonic games exclusively on Nintendo. So that would have been Sonic Lost World, which is not bad. It would have been the 2014 Olympics game. And then this.
Which is also a 2014 game, I believe.
Yeah. But essentially, Sega showing it to Nintendo meant that these guys then had to bring this game to Wii U and only Wii U. And that's probably the worst possible platform for this to come out on, given its engine, right? And I don't know exactly what happened internally with this, but based on what we got, I can imagine that they struggled big time to actually get anything working on the Wii U at a decent frame rate. Like CryEngine is just not. I can see it not being performant at all on this system.
I mean, I don't mind like the actual visual design of this too
right?
much.
That's
like,
the thing.
Like the lighting, the textures, the character models and animation, it's all like fairly competently done.
These are again pre-rendered cutscenes here, right? But
right.
Even in gameplay, I don't think the game is bad looking. It's a different style. You know, obviously Sonic Boom is a franchise. It has an entire show around it that was successful and pretty good, including some pretty nice breaking the fourth wall moments. I don't know if you've seen any of it. Like,
no, I haven't.
There's a clip where that eventually ends with them like zooming all the way out of realities to like a dude dressed up in a Sonic suit taking his trash out, and like, oh, they went too far, and then we have to get. It's pure, but the show is entertaining. There was some 3DS games as well. It's just this Wii U game just did not work out at all.
Right. I mean, it was kind of conceived as like a Western driven multimedia branch of the Sonic franchise, right?
That's right, exactly.
The thing I always think of is, I think there's a lot of controversy about Sonic's arms being blue in this.
Oh yeah.
Which personally, the idea of like shaven hedgehog arms is kind of weird. I don't know why people thought this was so strange. The blue arms. I don't know. I kind of think blue arm Sonic looks better, if I'm being honest.
I like the Sonic Boom designs. I think they're actually quite decent. They did a pretty good job with the art direction side of things here.
Yeah.
And when you look at all the backgrounds and stuff and the designs, that actually does feel kind of Naughty Dog in a way as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that PS2 era.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like, especially with like the tree roots and stuff, there's a lot of like very exaggerated, non-right angle sorts of structures in the environment, which I really like.
Exactly. So in a way, this makes a first impression that's perhaps less bad than Sonic 06.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, you in Sonic 06, you start off in this like really lousy hub area.
Oh God, yeah. No doubt. Like, it's complete garbage. This actually has a decent introduction. I mean, I think if they could have released this game for not the Wii U and had like an extra, I don't know, 6 months or more to like polish it up.
Yeah.
I think it could have gone down as a decent game or somewhat well regarded. It really only suffers because of all these tech issues, and they're not even that apparent yet, right? Like here, it's not too bad, but as you progress, the frame rate starts to get real nasty in spots, and it just, the whole thing really feels kind of broken. But for now, though, how about that? Oh, they got to get all the characters in there. There's Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Can't
Shadow
stop.
didn't look as overly redesigned as some of the other characters.
No, you're right. All right, so now we get into the adventure. Have you ever played this, by the way?
No. Never touched it.
It's your first time experiencing it.
Yeah, I mean, I've probably seen like a trailer. I bet it was on like Nintendo Direct or something at some point. I probably saw it there, but yeah, otherwise I know very little about this other than, I've seen the character designs before. I don't know much about how the game actually plays.
So it does feel kind of heavy. Like when you jump, for instance, it has that feeling of like Sonic sort of like crouching and then launching up in the air rather than just instantly jumping. So everything feels kind of heavy, sticky. Yeah, like let me try here. Yeah, you see how he kind of jumps with a bit of weight like that?
Yeah, well, it kind of makes me think of Jack's jump.
Right, it's not even a spin jump, right? Like he can spin jump a little bit, but it's more like a flip.
Right, but that's not even like mechanically like an attack. Right? Like that's just the animation. Right.
So now we're into this like side-scrolling section here.
Right. So I'm assuming you're locked to left and right movement. Like you can't move
correct.
In the Z-axis at all.
You got it. Oh, and I'm helping Amy in the back there. See that? So
now see the elevator up. This like strikes me as a concept that was like made for 3DS. With like the depth, the different layers.
The 3DS game is actually interesting. Okay, what am I doing here? Can I switch? I actually wasn't paying attention. Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay. He mashed the buttons. She's not doing anything, though.
So there we go. Whoops. Did not want to do that. So I actually first played this back at Gamescom. So we just had Gamescom 2023. Yeah. But my initial playthrough initial test was at a Gamescom show. And I remember walking up into the Nintendo booth and giving this a shot there.
Yeah.
And at the time, that was the same show where I first played Mighty Number 9, I think.
Oh, okay.
That's probably technically better than this, but I would say I dislike this less. Mighty Number 9 really angers me. I don't like it at all. I think it's a bad game. It's gotten worse with time. The more I've looked at it, it's like it's just not well made.
Yeah.
But yeah, this feels very not Sonic, but not necessarily in a bad way. It's just like this weird puzzle platformy thing.
Yeah,
it feels very like 2014, or maybe even.
That is when it came out. I suppose this isn't retro if you subscribe to the 10 years rule.
No.
But it's really close.
It's close. I just felt we've never talked about this on Digital Foundry at all. So I kind of wanted to just play it here.
Yeah.
So I'm actually curious, and based on what you're seeing so far, I'd like to hear your thoughts, having not actually played the game yourself.
Yeah.
How does this strike you?
I mean, honestly, like, you know, I like a good puzzle platformer, and that's what that kind of action we're looking at now. Like, the visual design I think is pretty good. But you know, I'm sure performance issues are definitely you know, an issue, especially as you go further and further in. But it doesn't seem very Sonic. But
no, it doesn't.
I'm not opposed to a good puzzle platformer. You know, I mean, judging from afar, just watching you play it, you know, I can't really say if like the puzzle design is good or interesting. But you know, there's nothing like totally completely offensive going on just yet.
No, actually, I do like. I guess are they sampling like a cube map, or I wonder what they're sampling for the lighting under his spines there. You see that? It's sort of like,
oh yeah. There's like a
whitish
reddish
light.
Yeah, that it's not really there, but there's
it's
something
like
going on.
It's the specular highlight, but they're sampling some sort of light source to do that, or some sort of like texture.
Look at the wall in the background, like from the direction you came from. Like that almost looks like I don't know, it almost looks like from a distance it looks like they could have some sort of like cool like a parallax occlusion map or something going on
well,
there.
This
probably
is,
not. Probably not if you actually got
though.
up close.
It's probably not on the Wii U.
Yeah.
There. Okay, so now I think we switch to the other characters. One of them, let's see here. Okay, so now we're playing Tails. So yeah, he can hover. So each one has their own abilities. You kind of cycle between them. Yeah. I mentioned earlier that the original concept for this was like a co-op game, and you kind of still get a little bit of that sense from this.
I see.
Where you're like, okay, I can see what they were trying to do.
Yeah. Does the 3DS game have like sections like this? Because like I say, like that.
It does.
That depth in the background, that feels made for 3DS.
3DS version, I would say, is pretty different feeling game.
Yeah.
It's much more side-scrolling action, and less of this actual. It's less puzzly. There's no hubs or anything. It's more just like level by level action, and arguably
which
more
sounds
fun.
Good. Yeah.
And that was made by Sanzaru, which did, I think, the fourth Sly Cooper game, maybe.
Really? So that's also a Western developer, I assume.
Yeah. The whole Sonic Boom thing was all Western developed.
Right.
So what am I doing here? Okay. Button.
Like one thing that's kind of frustrating is that, you know, this area that you're in with Tails looks so visually similar to where you just were with Sonic, so it kind of feels,
I mean, it's the same temple.
It is, but like it almost feels like the same room, but it's not.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like, wait, have I been
mean.
here before, or is this something different? You know?
Yeah.
But like with the whole like, you know, jungle temple design, I mean, that's definitely coming straight from that Naughty Dog legacy, right?
Exactly. So here we go.
Now, is there a button that you can like switch to Knuckles here, or because I see his icon up on the upper left.
Maybe? Well, there he is. So I think it was just a computer.
Or maybe that's a function that you can do like later in the game, switch between them on the fly.
Man, the Wii U gamepad. I've got the brightness turned down here so that it doesn't drain on me, but it sure is something.
It's a chunky thing.
It's a chunky boy.
You know, I always kind of liked the upper parallel sticks, like just because I don't know, it's just different.
It's a weird controller. the system, it feels like it was so long ago at this point, right? Like it's such a long dead memory.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about the Switch 2.
Yeah.
And yet, if we go back to this, wait.
What? Your double jump seems to be insufficient. There was a little tutorial message, but I didn't fully read
I know.
it.
Oh wait, there it is. She can triple jump.
Oh, triple jump.
But wait a minute. Oh, okay, you just mash it like that.
Oh.
For some reason.
Okay.
So she's got her hammer. There we go. Smash that. So I guess we'll be playing each of the characters. I'm sure I'll take Knuckles next.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they're doing it from a tutorial perspective, but it's doing these similar sorts of things right at the beginning of the game is maybe it's a slow start.
It's not that fun. That's the problem. Like,
yeah.
Right here, I would say it's perfectly competent, cromulent even, but it's not very fun.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of buttoning through and just, following.
Yeah, that's the problem we're having here. It's just kind
versus like Sonic 2006, after we survived that horrible city, we were like running around on islands and like hanging onto whales and glitching through walls and all kinds of fun stuff.
There was fun, quote unquote fun stuff going on, but
I would say that this is less funny than Sonic 2006. Like this feels like it's almost competent but just really unpolished.
Right.
Basically.
Right. Just kind of right now, like what you're doing is just very dry.
Yep. That's exactly how I would describe it.
It seems competent though. I understand again why they're introducing the characters in this way and these very samey looking rooms. I mean, like I feel like if this came out like early in say the Xbox 360, the Xbox Live Arcade era, and it was like, hey, here's a download only Sonic puzzle game, and there, like I feel like if they like framed it up in that way, in that context, I feel like what we're seeing here would be more acceptable.
Maybe. That's an interesting question, actually. To me, though, this actually feels like this belongs more to the PS2 era, where you could have seen them trying to reboot it in this way. Like that was the era of these sort of like adventure-y platform games, right?
Yeah,
Remember what they did with Sega did with like Virtua Quest or whatever it ended up being called?
Yeah.
Oh, look, they have to highlight climbable walls with a texture.
Wow, that is like those are like radioactive. I kind of feel like Knuckles should like not be touching those.
That is pretty ugly, actually. Wait a minute.
They could be hazardous to his health.
Oof. Okay, he feels terrible. Like the controls feel really laggy on him.
Well,
for some reason.
That was always like the big thing everyone was talking about when like the whole look of Sonic Boom was initially revealed was like, oh my gosh, like Knuckles is on steroids.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny, but like in that opening FMV where they were like running along, like seeing him like running just like the others, but like looking so top heavy was kind of
it's pretty funny.
It looked odd.
Oh my gosh, there's another one of those random chests. Oh, you kind of man, it's just getting it's just boring, right? Like this is not very fun at this point.
Well, hopefully, being the fourth and final character here, hopefully
I think we'll be able to move on after this.
We'll be seeing something fresh soon.
There's a fundamental problem. I keep seeing things like there's crowns and other collectibles, right? But because the mechanics aren't very fun, I don't feel incentivized to actually get them. Because it just feels like I'm wasting my time. Because it's like, well, then I have to go down there and then go do that thing again. I don't really want to. So I'm just going to skip the collectible.
Do you even know what they're for?
Nope. I don't remember.
Well, I mean, if the game doesn't tell you or doesn't give you any reason to want to get it, then it's kind of like, well, why?
Okay, come on.
What's my motivation? Well, that was kind of neat how it like did like a turn, you know, in the I guess around
like
the
that.
y-axis. Yeah, or that way.
I mean, again, as I was saying, it all seems perfectly competent, just boring at this stage.
Yes.
So here we go.
Yeah. I mean,
there it is, finally.
I suspect that there could have been people on this team who, you know, didn't understand until pretty late on, or maybe even after it was released, that the product was not coming together. Like, I feel like I don't know. Like,
I'm sure they knew.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes when you see problematic games released these days, though, like a lot of times you see like developers online being like, "Oh, like." I mean, sometimes they do know, but like I don't know. Like at least earlier on in development, like you know, people like the artists and stuff, like they probably thought like, "Hey, what we're making is pretty okay here," but it needed more time.
I'm sure in the end it became pretty clear that it wasn't going to work out, especially with the Wii U target.
Yeah, I guess that's,
you know, I mean, the technical issues here are just too obvious. Oh, okay. What's going on here? So let's see here.
So this is pre-rendered video.
Yeah, all the major cutscenes are just video clips.
Yeah, I mean, at least here on Discord, I'm not seeing like a lot of obvious compression that would be coming from the game itself.
Oh, the quality is okay enough, actually.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Like I could even make out like the aliasing, especially along like high contrast areas, like between Sonic's eyes and his blue fur. Like you can see like it's very in-engine looking, and it's got some of those issues.
I have to double check. It's hard to tell from the capture. I think this is video. This is video. Because occasionally scenes are real time, but I think most of the big ones are just done with video.
Right. Well, because there was like an earlier scene where the animation was much simpler.
Yeah.
And it was pretty clear that was an engine, but some of these more elaborate ones, it's not that it couldn't be done in engine probably, but it would just be a lot of effort. You can sort of see like Knuckles' like arm like squishing against Sonic's head there. Like there was like a little bit of deformation physics there.
That weird this lizard enemy very much is that lyric? I don't know. I forget.
I mean it's so funny to think like this. Sonic is of course a game property, but Sonic Boom was, I think, more conceived as like a TV show and other media first. And so
it was a cross-media thing.
It's weird seeing this game, like it's got this very much like based on a cartoon show vibe about it, even though it's a Sonic thing,
Yeah, I know what you mean. One thing I like that they've done in a lot of Sonic games since Sonic Unleashed is the side mouth. Look how Sonic's mouth is on the side there, right?
Oh, did they not do that like Dreamcast era?
No, definitely not. So, I mean, in some of the art, yes, but in the in-game model in Sonic Unleashed, and I guess this one as well, like they'll actually dynamically move the smile to the left or right depending on
right.
It's cool animation stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very similar to stuff like how in like Mega Man Legends, for instance, like depending on the angle in a cutscene, like you can see the depth of a character's mouth. They just use the different texture depending on the camera angle.
That's right.
Similar thing, but done with a fully 3D mouth.
Oh, you got a watch. It's his new Apple Watch. Friendship bracelets, though.
It's funny to me that like Knuckles' spikes on his hands are also wrapped up in bandages. Like
whatever. It is like what it is.
Like you would think that would like actually be poking through the bandages rather than
I forgot about this. The energy lasso.
Oh, you can like grapple them. This is like super like just like run of the mill American action game combat. stuff.
It feels the combat here is exceptionally dull. There's really not much to it. It does not feel good or satisfying. I can't energy whip him because he's got an energy sword. Like, this is just so hollow. I actually think the Werehog stuff in Sonic Unleashed is significantly more fun than this.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and I don't even like the Werehog very much.
Yeah, I mean, usually people say like, well, Sonic Unleashed is half a good game.
I don't think the Werehog stuff's necessarily bad. It's just, it's a little dull.
Yeah.
This is worse. This is honestly just nonsense mashing. Like, it's like mid-tier C grade PS2 third-person character combat.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
watching it at the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm not opposed to this kind of combat in Sonic, but now that I'm like seeing it play out again, it's kind of like it prevents you from having that forward momentum that you expect from Sonic, right? Like the combat in Sonic is usually like, you know, in 3D Sonic is like, you know, and it's quick, fast, and you move on. It's not like you're
exactly.
And this is just kind of being a bit drawn out.
They just lock you into an arena, and you just keep fighting spawning enemies until the game decides, okay, we're done.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's not fun. There's nothing fun about that. Oh, come on. It's still going. I'm still here fighting these enemies. Oh, wait a minute. You see that arrow over there?
Oh, are you supposed to do something to stop them from
What if
spawning?
I've been wasting my time and not reading the subtitles? Clearly
it's very difficult to play it's difficult to pay attention to in-game text and directions when you're recording and streaming.
Now, the question is, how do I actually pick up one of those guys?
Are you supposed to like throw them toward the statue?
Yeah.
Can you like Bowser swing him? Oh, there you go.
That's exactly right. I Bowser swinged him. Wait, that's not even a word. Swinged him.
You Bowser swung him.
I Bowser swung him. Bowser swinged him.
Swung him.
Oh, okay, this stuff. I forgot about these.
Oh. I mean,
it's kind of fun, but the camera
is like going through the rail, and it looks super janky.
It's really janky. It's not.
It
good.
looks like this could be fun, but it's wow. This camera is going to make you sick. It's pretty yikes.
Yeah, you don't really feel very in control here.
Are you causing it to sway back and forth like that?
Oh no! If I stop moving, like right now, I'm doing nothing. I'm just holding A. And this is what it does.
Man. Oh,
so that's the normal camera. Okay, here we go. We're back and foot. Frame rate slow again.
That was some of the worst camera work I've seen in a long time. That was bad. Yikes.
That is really bad.
Man, every time you get onto these like traditional Sonic segments, like the frame rate just dies. It just gives up.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
So basically everything in this game that feels like a Sonic game either
sucks.
It either moves really slow like a side-scrolling platformer or puzzle platformer, or it moves like a 3D Sonic game, but like with a terrible frame rate. Like,
man.
Again, like a lot of the environments are fairly attractive looking, but I wonder to what extent they could have pared back those visuals and, you know, clawed back some perperformance, or
dude, you look at that original trailer and they already pared them way back. I don't think there's much more they could do. I think this is just, you know, the Wii U is not a very capable machine at running CryEngine.
I mean, my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is that the CPU is much worse than PS3 and 360. But
yeah, I think so.
The GPU, I don't know if it's that the GPU is more powerful, but it's certainly more modern than the GPUs in those systems. So
I think you could do some okay.
I mean, that's how you got
okay stuff with it, but.
I mean, that's how you got stuff like 1080p native 60 frames per second Smash Brothers, right?
Sure, but there was 1080p native 60 frames per second games on PS3 and 360.
Right, but like, I don't know, something of the visual quality of Smash Brothers? I mean, that's
fairly simple, I think. I mean, it's just some really nice models, and there's not... I think it's completely feasible on those machines.
I mean, yeah, it's probably the visual design that makes it look so good, and it's not necessarily as complex as it might appear.
Okay, so there's an arrow. So what am I doing here? Oh yeah, something. Oh, it's over there. Why not? Let me just hop down here. Okay, so I got to go over there somehow, somewhere. Oh, the vehicles have platforms on them. Maybe we can raise them. There we go. Oh, we're gonna use the laser whip, aren't we? Oh, so the camera is really slow.
Yeah,
it's really slow.
Like, do you not have an option to speed it up in the settings?
Let's check. Maybe I do. Can I do it? Controls. No.
You can flip it though. You can make it feel like a GameCube game.
I don't wish to do that. All right, so now I have activated that. Yes or not? Wait, what's going on here? Oh, I activated this. Okay, whatever. Okay, another platform.
Yeah, I mean,
what even is this game at this point, right?
It's certainly not a Sonic game.
Now I can switch to Tails. And use him to get over there.
I mean, these are not... I mean, this style of platformer is not necessarily a bad idea, but it's not what people are expecting. What happened? Oh.
I used Tails to get across the pit, right? And then I wanted to switch back to Sonic, but because the AI got stuck down there. So it put me back down there in the pit. And then AI Tails jumped back down in the pit. There we go. Come on.
You know, this sort of makes me think of in a way, like, if they were thinking about making a co-op game, I wonder if they were thinking originally of something along the lines of like Ratchet and Clank All for One, you know, where it was, you know, I mean, like I could kind of see them, the bones of something like that, which, you know, that game was not particularly great. You know, that was definitely like a weird period of Ratchet and Clank history, but like that game also, you know, again, it like that didn't feel like a Ratchet and Clank game. It feels like they want to do something with this game that is just inherently not very Sonic.
Yes. Here we go. Another cutscene. It's Cliff.
Oh, hey, Cliff.
What the heck is Cliff?
That.
He's a very good character design. That's what he is.
That's a great question. I mean, to be fair, what the heck is Sonic? What the heck is Amy? What the heck is Knuckles? I mean, you can't identify them as hedgehogs. Hedgehogs and echidnas. You can't identify them by looking at their characters.
You better take that back.
No one in the universe would look at Sonic and say, "Yep, that's a hedgehog." It's just that the hedgehog is in his name.
That's his last name, the Hedgehog.
The Hedgehog.
Hello, Mr. The Hedgehog. Oh no. Wow, look at Amy's expression.
Yeah, she like just she has the right expression quite often in this game, I'm finding. She just kind of looks annoyed to be here.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, So, more exposition. The cutscenes really aren't half bad. I mean, it's a shame they're like all video clips, but still.
Yeah.
The animation's not bad. The character models look okay. That was just something weird about that initial opening. That's real bad. Oh, you see the shadow draw in there?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Woohoo!
Yep, that's my favorite thing to see.
Also, my objective. You see that arrow on screen? Right above Sonic's head, there's a
Yeah,
yellow
yeah,
arrow.
yeah.
Look how subtle that is in terms of color.
Yeah.
Like it takes your eyes a second to track what you're looking for.
I mean,
I mean,
I'm
maybe
not
that's the
necessarily opposed to that because I don't love
guiding
overly
arrows.
much direction.
No, I'm with you. It's just the fact that it's there and it looks like that.
Yeah. But like out here in this Wild West sort of environment, like now that you're in the temple less so, but like outside there, like I thought like the the use of color was quite nice out there. I mean, the game quite often I think has a pleasing color scheme.
Oh, I tend to agree with you. I think it's not bad looking. The visual design anyway.
It is often bad performing.
I think a smooth 60 FPS version of this would at least help make it feel somewhat tolerable.
Yes.
Even though I think as you progress a lot further, it starts to get worse in terms of glitches and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we've already seen a little bit of that, and just like really bad camera work. You know, maybe not as problematic as some of the worst camera stuff we saw in Sonic 06, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay, tap on to reveal secret. Oh, there is a symbol on my Wii U
we got some
motion
some
control
action.
I see a secret entrance there.
I'm
gonna hold up the Wii U gamepad.
We have Sonic's detective mode.
Oh my god, I never thought about it. You're right. It is detective mode in a Sonic game. They actually did it.
Every Western game ever in this era has to have detective mode.
This looks like Breath of the Wild now. No, not exactly. Sonic Breath of the Wild.
I mean, that's Sonic Origins, or at least visually.
You mean Frontiers?
Frontiers.
Which was originally called Sonic Rangers in development, huh?
Interesting. Did you ever finish Sonic Frontiers?
Yeah. I like Sonic Frontiers.
I helped you capture a little bit of footage of that.
For the Xbox One version, right?
The Xbox VCR, I sure did.
VCR, yes.
Yeah, and that little taste of it I got, like it definitely made me intrigued. Like
you played the worst version by far.
But it's still.
Wait, no, sorry, the worst version was Switch. My bad.
Yeah, but I mean, it gave me enough of a taste for it that I was like, I kind of want to play this sometime.
I think it's worth playing. It's a fun little game. Okay, it's ours. Time to get out of here. So there we go. Return to Cliff. So you're kind of getting the idea, I guess, of the structure now, huh?
Yeah, and it's like extremely not Sonic. Like if you're going into this hoping for a Sonic game, like this just doesn't.
No.
I mean, again, being the one who's not playing, like I can't really say whether like some of this puzzle design is in any way interesting, but like
it's not bad. I mean, I think it's perfectly reasonable. It's like a C or B tier. Oh, he looks like that character looks like he's got the wrong aspect ratio. Oh no. He's been squished.
But yeah, like this, it's just it feels misguided for Sonic. Like
look how they solve this. So this segment you can only play as Amy or Knuckles, and they look how they had to put in. I think that's funny. I mean, what else are you gonna do? But they put in wall for Knuckles, climbing point for Amy.
Yeah,
but it's the fact that it's so. I mean, I know why they did it, but
if they did just one above the other, it would feel maybe a little less contrived.
Yeah. Okay, into the mine we get. Oh, just what I wanted. Oh, no.
But I mean, I guess some of this slower stuff, I mean, is it really all that different from like, some of the other gameplay modes in say like Sonic Adventure 2 that were, much slower paced, like Tails and stuff like that?
Yeah, because it lasts a lot longer.
Yeah.
Stuff in Sonic Adventure 2 is relatively brief. Although the Knuckles sections, those are pretty freaking bad.
Yeah.
But still.
But yeah, we're getting a grasp of the structure here, and this is very much
Rescue the miner.
This is very much, I would say, a puzzle platformer and not like an action platformer overall.
So tell me, would you rather play this or Miner 2049er?
What?
Wait, you don't know what Miner 2049er is?
No.
Oh man, son, you've got some homework to do.
Oh boy, do tell.
Well, it's a classic Atari era game. I'll show you afterward. All right, here we go.
Which would you rather play?
Probably Miner 2049er. But let's see here. Okay, so I rescued another miner. Thankfully, just 2, not 2049er. Okay, right. Okay, that's kind of fun going into the background. Like
yeah, you got a little bit of Virtual Boy Wario Land action there.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's a pretty good game.
Similar quality. No, wait, that's actually better.
No. Like I think that's one of the better Wario Land.
That's
games.
the premier Virtual Boy game.
Yeah, I mean we're talking about Nintendo platforms of comparable worth, I guess.
Yeah. The Wii U has much more to offer than than the Virtual Boy.
Sure.
But most of its games have been ported.
Exactly. Like so, I had a great time with the Wii U, during its day. I played a lot of games I really enjoyed on it. But yeah,
Same.
and I defended the Wii U for a long time, but yeah, as more and more games, became no longer exclusive to it, it definitely became a lot harder to really say like, yeah, that's a essential Nintendo console. It's kind of not anymore. Wind Waker HD is and Twilight Princess HD are probably like the biggest things exclusive to it at this point.
Also Xenoblade Chronicles X,
yes,
Cross, or whatever you want to call it,
which is actually unironically my favorite Xenoblade game. I think
it's the strangest. It's
yeah. I mean, I love it's definitely got like it's not story focused, which is I think what a lot of people want out of those games. But I thought the RPG combat and class system and everything in that was just excellent.
It's not excellent. This game. I'm starting to have less fun here. It's becoming tedious at this point. I'm just like, oh, just show me I don't feel like doing this. This feels like it's just one of those random XBLA indie games that puzzle platform. Not to knock them, but I'm just like.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like if this game came out in that context, I feel like it would be a little more acceptable for what it is, because no one would be going into this expecting like a proper full-on Sonic game.
This fails to deliver on what makes Sonic enjoyable. And yes, there are many things that make Sonic enjoyable. This is not one of them.
Yeah, it's just these segments go on for too long. They look really dry.
Oh my god, I'm just.
Is there anything? Is there anything Amy can do in here that would help?
Was I already here, or is this?
I don't think you didn't get
I was not
rings.
here. No, I think you can only play as Knuckles because that's why it has all the Knuckles stuff around. Okay, so
you're just going around like hitting these switches, like they're.
I want to know how these miners got trapped within this labyrinth of pain, because it's just like what? Oh, it's just a shortcut back here. Oh, why was that even a thing? Wait, was this? Did I think? Oh shoot, this is the one I took before.
This
Okay, so
would
let's go.
definitely be a lot more interesting if they really could have made it a co-op game, I think, because then, your friend could be
Yeah.
running around and, you could be like, oh, I did this over here or whatever,
I feel like I was here already. Yeah, I was here. It all looks the same too.
It feels like a game that was, started out with good intentions, but like it just couldn't come together in the end.
I was here as well. I remember this.
It just got.
I see
really
that freaking
boring.
yellow arrow, but how do I get there?
Well, how useful is that yellow arrow in a?
All right, let's just the stupid button go.
We're in a 2D space, but we've also got like foreground and background.
You know what?
That yellow arrow, like, how can it communicate like foreground?
Those miners can go do one. I'm out of here.
Is that just is that a side quest?
I hope, because I have zero desire to finish that. I hate that. That was really boring. Oh, let me out of here. Please.
Yeah, if you get out here and talk to Cliff again, like, let's see if we can move on.
It better not. Oh no. Come on, please don't.
See, look around here.
It still has that stupid. Oh, it still has that arrow.
Oh,
I don't want to go back in there. I hate that place.
Talk to Cliff and see what.
Please let me talk to Cliff.
Where is Cliff?
He's right here.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Oh no.
Can you not even do it? There's a circle around him, like you can interact with. Oh, look at that clipping.
I can't. The game's decided. What? Oh yeah. Great. Oh, you have to go. You gotta rescue the freaking mine. I don't want to rescue the miners. I don't care about those miners. Why are they even in that place? Like, they're like trapped behind these stupid like buttons and gadgets.
Look at how Knuckles' dreads or spikes or whatever they are animate though, right?
They're totally dreads, dude. Look at that.
Like
he looks like Cthulhu up in there. He's got Cthulhu head going on.
But they wave and wriggle and writhe as he moves. Like look at that.
All right, I'm gonna try. Can I switch?
Look at that and perhaps take some enjoyment out of that.
I'm gonna go try Amy here instead. Oh, there's wrong aspect ratio man over there. I blame him for the stupid quest.
I kind of like Amy's run cycle.
Oh yeah, she's cool in this game. Oh. That right there is a sentence you don't want to see in any game ever. This elevator will take us down to the mine. Like, yeah. Right?
Mine levels aren't too many steps above sewer levels in terms of, how excited you are to visit them.
Correct. Okay, so now Amy can do the puzzle. That's interesting. All right,
could you have always done it as either of these characters?
I suppose so. Okay, so that just takes me back here. Wait a minute. Was that it?
What?
Oh, did I find it?
I mean, are the treasure chests the miners you need to save?
No. The treasure is actually valuable, unlike the miners. Sorry, I've grown to dislike these miners very much.
What? You say the treasure is valuable.
No,
like, do you know what it actually gets you? Oh, there's a miner.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, was that shovel icon, I guess, was the last of the miners. Oh, man.
It's done.
Oh, man.
Wait. Amy, what?
Oh, you have to fight now.
What? Why? Oh, come on.
Oh.
So, yeah, we're just getting started here, but I think you're starting to see the issues.
It's really boring. Like, it's less about the technical issues or anything, but it's boring.
This is so, oh man, this game. Why did I get? Okay, that's enough. Just come on.
Have you played this far into this game before?
I originally played through a big chunk of this on my older Wii U at the time.
Yeah.
I never actually finished it though. I just couldn't bring myself to finish it. I would be curious to try this on an emulator and see if you can actually like massively improve things. All right, wrong aspect ratio man is back. Oh, so we did all that work. He actually looks like one of those custom characters from Sonic Forces the player can make, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
This makes Sonic Forces look like a masterpiece. Oh no, there's like things to equip.
Oh no.
Oh,
powered lives. Is there a skill? Is there a skill tree? Do you have a skill tree?
No, is there? Wait, well, first I gotta talk to Cliff. Of course, it's in some. There's gonna be like factories and mines and sewers. I hope there's a warehouse. That's what I'm really waiting for here. I suspect that this game would not perform well in the time to crate scale. Are you familiar with time to crate?
I've heard the term, but you'll have to give me a refresher.
It was I forget the site that did it. It was like Old Man Murray or like Voodoo Extreme or something from back in the day, where like they would sort of time how long it takes from when you begin a game to when you encounter your first crate, and it was shockingly low during that period. So yeah, but this game has so many a crate.
A crate that you can.
No, it doesn't matter. I think it was literally just like a crate. Like as soon as you encounter a crate,
and when you
registers.
When you think about it, like how long does it take you to encounter a crate?
Jeez.
How long does it take you to encounter a crate in your day-to-day life? Like most days, I would argue I don't encounter a crate.
I do not often encounter crates. I would
except in video games.
Yeah, I mean, without video games, I wouldn't even know what a crate is. So don't tell me video games don't teach you things.
I mean, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers taught me what a crate is.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Actually, this game feels like it could have been a Chip and Dale game, right?
Yeah. Don't brand it as Sonic, and you might have something a little more palatable here.
God, every time the game decides to move,
boring.
Every time it moves fast, the game just like stutters and hitches real bad.
Well, do you think they originally intended for much more of the game to be that way, and then when they saw how it ran, they're just like, "Ooh, let's make this a puzzle platformer."
Who can say? I'd love to know.
There's those splishes as you're riding through that water.
Looks like something else we can. However, this one. Okay, so. Oh man, so what is this?
Can you run across the water?
Nope. The rings pop in. So we're just like in this old west town place, running around smashing stuff. I don't know, somehow like just being Sonic sets your expectations up for something else.
Yes.
And it just ends up feeling extra dull.
Yes.
I think just kind of,
even if it was just an original game, this would be a pretty dull platformer. Yeah. But putting Sonic on top of that, just the expectations are definitely a detriment to it. I can see though. I could see how this could. I mean, does this game have its defenders? I mean, I could see it.
I'm sure it does. I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. The main problem is like, fundamentally, this breaks the law of platformers, which is the basic movement needs to feel good. Like just running around in empty rooms should feel good. This game does not feel good.
No.
Like moving Sonic around, it's slow, it's clunky. There's nothing. You don't feel like you want to run from one end of the map to the other, right?
Yeah.
And you should. Oh,
hey! I hope you're having a non-cursed day.
Oh God, no.
Tell your story.
Oh no.
A non-cursed day. That feels like modern internet speak. Like that feels like did people throw around the word cursed all the time in 2014? I don't recall people saying cursed as much back then.
I think
non-cursed day.
Huh. Look, he's just going, and it's... Whew.
Is he wearing a coat on his shell, or is his coat a shell?
Good question.
Like, I can't tell if there's something hard under that coat. Kind of doesn't look like it.
Go back in time and what?
You're going back in time? Wait. Going back in time is suddenly a thing? Your next objective is go back in time. If you don't know how to go back in time, then screw you, John. You better know how to go back in time, or else you ain't beating this game.
Oh, wait, no. We're going to this gate. Like, what kind of... Like, I was not listening to what they were saying, and then all of a sudden the objective pops up, and it's like, just go back in time. And you're like, all right.
What?
I mean, that's what made Titanfall 2 so good. When it was like, press A to time travel. that was one of the greatest moments ever.
Oh, I still got to play through that game. I've been meaning to.
Oh, no! I just spoiled it! Oh! That's one of the... Gosh darn it.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
You need...
I know that the game gets crazy.
Yeah.
I know it gets crazy.
Hopefully that little tidbit will encourage you to give it a shot, because it's not something you see often in games when they're like, press A to time travel. And then you see what that leads to.
I mean, I understand every level in that game is like pretty different.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's like, it's just constantly changing what you do. Oh no. Are you kidding me?
A buddy bot. Oh, you gotta have your little Metal Gear Mark II action.
No, he just opens it. That's actually better.
Oh, good. You didn't have to actually control it.
I mean, I see what they're trying to do here. Like, each of of Sonic's friends has their little power, and you know, this encourages you to use them all.
And let's be honest, this is a kid's game, but kids' games can be, you know, well made.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay,
that was tough, but I did it.
All right, let's go through here. Oh God, I hope there's a mine or a factory or a sewer down here somewhere.
I mean, you know, you've already been to a mine. Surely we couldn't have another mine. It kind of looks like we're loading another, like, 10 FPS the area.
Here we go.
I might be exaggerating about the 10 FPS.
Let's see what happened. Well, it went down to like 15. Okay, so... Uh-oh.
Dead ahead.
Okay. So yeah, these sections, they could be fun, but they're like more scripted than usual, I think.
Yeah.
Like, there really isn't much to do.
Well, and then we got this horrible camera angle part again.
Yep. And then we go here. Oh. Oh, man, the frame rate. Oh, it's so slow. Oh.
Now this, like, environment, like, looking out on these islands and these, like, gold domed objects, like, that's very Jak 1.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking that. It's like, this is extremely Jak and Daxter right here.
Yeah.
Like, this stuff looks cool, but I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Well, there I did two things.
Well, they realized the frame rate was so bad they couldn't let you do anything.
People love to dunk on Sonic as being his whole right, but that's just not true in most of the games. Like, there is actually some real skill required to play the good Sonic games, I would say.
Yeah.
Which is why when Sonic Mania came out, and the people that really aren't that familiar with Sonic kind of struggled with it, because it requires some of that rather precise platforming skill.
Right. Now, I think a lot of, you know, Sonic 1, 2, and 3 is people, you know, they grew up on those games. They've played them so many times. They know those games. Whereas, you know, you're presented with something fresh in that style. Like, you have to not only have the game, you can't just rely on having the game memorized like you do those Genesis games. Like, you have to be able to adapt to, you know, fresh level design in that style.
You know what game's good? It's one
lots
right
of things
there. Yeah, right there on my screen. To my shoulder.
Is that
Behind my
Sonic 3
shoulder.
and Knuckles?
That's Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, it's kind of small on my screen over here.
Oh, well, you know. But
personally, I think Sonic 3 and Knuckles altogether is a little bit too long. But you know.
Yeah, it is pretty darn long. You know what else is long? This video, and I'm kind of feeling we should probably wrap up, if you will.
Yeah.
Not wrap down. But so what do you think? Final impressions based on 1 hour of Sonic Boom.
I mean, you know, I want to give it some credit, you know, in the sense that, you know, I feel like, you know, a lot of the art direction is actually quite solid.
Yeah, I can agree.
But, you know, it comes together in an engine that wasn't designed to accommodate it on a system that wasn't designed to accommodate it. And with some very misguided game design ideas, you know, this puzzle platformer thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I do love puzzle platformers, but this seems like a pretty boring one. And then when you put the expectations of a Sonic game on top of that, you've just got something that's it's just it's boring to watch, and it may be even more excruciatingly so to play.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel that satisfying to play, unfortunately.
You know, that said, I kind of like the Sonic Boom character designs. I like the overall visual design. Like there could have been something good done with this, like in a sequel, but from a different developer. But they'd already poisoned it, you know. So they had to move on.
I would say the 3DS games, though, they're not amazing, but I think that they're pretty all right.
Yeah. There's more than one 3DS Sonic Boom game?
I think there's two. Yeah. And they are fairly enjoyable from what I remember. It has been many years since I've played them. I lived in France back when they came out, so I have French versions of those games. But man, look at this. This part is okay in terms of visual design, I would say, but
yeah, but every time you get into another one of these puzzle areas, it's just like, oh boy, here we go again.
You just know it's going to take a while. You're just going to be in this room, and you should be excited about that, but it's not that exciting,
right? And you know, you should also be excited, like your reward for finishing one of these puzzle areas should be like an exciting, like high-speed Sonic section, except those sections are terrible in this.
Yeah, they're short and not good.
So
that's cool though, having Amy and Knuckles work together like that at the end. That room was okay.
They could have done so much more with this game, I think, had the co-op idea panned out.
Possibly. Or they just didn't have to release it on the Wii U.
Yeah.
If we just keep getting back to that, because good lord, dude. Man, the Wii U, this gamepad, these analog sticks just turn to mush if you just leave them out. I'm sure you noticed.
They can get a little sticky, I guess.
It's like a chemical breakdown of the rubber on their surface, I believe.
I mean, you know,
so it's not like dirt or something. It's literally like the rubber melting or breaking down chemically.
People can say what they will about the N64 and Dreamcast analog sticks, but you know what? They're never going to decay.
Actually, that's a really good point. They don't get disgusting.
Yeah.
And that cannot be said for any other console.
Like all the rubber-based analog sticks, like they feel more comfortable, you know, to put your finger on when they're new, but years later, you know what?
Not so much.
Yeah.
Also the Saturn 3D pad. No problems there. All right, but anyway, that's probably going to do it for this video. So if you guys made it to the end, why don't you say, what would be a fun thing for the people to write in the comments?
Oh, gosh.
about
bad
CryEngine.
aspect wrong aspect ratio bunny. Or wait, that wasn't a bunny. Wrong aspect ratio dude.
Yeah, wrong aspect ratio dude forever.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching.